Joining us from Shanghai is Giuliano Noci, Associate Dean at MIP. Giuliano Noci, always good to talk to you. What can Mario Monti do, say, and show the Chinese that Italy really is a good place in which to invest?
Yeah, for sure, the objective of visit to Asia and to China of Mr. Monti is to regain credibility. It will show to the Chinese investor that it has introduced significant laws aimed at improving the situation of the Italian economy, which really worried in the past the financial community. However, in my opinion, the austerity plan is not enough in the medium term. So let me say that austerity does not mean prosperity for the future. In this respect, I think and I hope that further measures aimed at boosting Italian economy will be deployed in the next few weeks.
Well, let's have a look at the growth in just a minute or two. But I did want to just concentrate on the Chinese and just ask you what sort of investment the Chinese might be able to bring to Italy.
Well, I think that Chinese are very interested in the Italian know-how. The 12th quinquennial plan, which has been disclosed some months ago in China, devotes great attention to innovation. They need an industrial paradigm shift. In this respect, they will take care and they aim at investing in Italian firms characterized by a high-tech knowledge. I refer to biotech, industrial automation companies, and of course, some of Italian luxury brand will maybe be of great interest of a main Chinese investor. However, it's not a matter of labor law. They will take into account what are our most important companies in terms of know-how.
So growth is going to be key then for Italy's success. I can't see it, can you?
Yeah, growth is really a key priority. Unfortunately, till now, Mr. Monti has mainly introduced a reform of the pension system, which in some way reduced the public expenditure for the next year, and it reintroduces a municipal property tax. Well, in some way, these issues address balance sheet problem and try to solve the issue of credibility of our public debt. But in the future, we have to take into account that the industrial system of Italy is split in two main categories. On the one hand, we have medium firms which have invested a lot in innovation and which are exporting a lot. On the other hand, let me say the vast majority of firms are small and medium enterprises who are not able to export and who are characterized by a poor know-how. So I believe that our government, Mr. Monti, should focus its attention on these small and medium enterprises. For instance, industrial policies aimed at aggregating these corporations must be a priority. They must work together and in order to get a significant scale and thus be able to invest in innovation and to get into emerging countries like China, for instance. This is a priority. This must be the next focus of our government.
What about the actual consumer in Italy as well, about that being a priority and having domestic spending rising? Because if the proposed rise in value-added tax is actually brought in over the next few months, that presumably is going to depress things further. Would that be a mistake to rise that tax?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Unfortunately, I see that the possible increase of VAT could be a problem. I mean, Italy, the demand of Italian consumer is almost stagnant. So I think that one of the main issues in order to allow demand to increase is to try to reduce let me say, taxes on labor and hence reducing taxation on companies on the one hand, and on the other hand, allowing employees to have net wages of a higher value available through wages. This will allow companies to be more competitive, and this will allow consumers to have more money for their private expenditure. So no taxation in the future, a significant reform of the fiscal system aimed at supporting competitiveness of companies and aimed at supporting the purchasing parity power of individuals. That's what we need and what our companies need to increase their competitiveness.
Now, we've got the European finance ministers meeting in Copenhagen tomorrow discussing this draft proposal to increase the firepower of the bailout mechanism, the emergency fund. Is any figure, 950 billion euros or any figure, ever going to be high enough?
Yeah, what I think is that it's absolutely necessary to increase the firewall of the European Union. As we have seen in the last few days, Portugal has become one of the main priority in terms of risk perceived by the financial community. So I think that increasing the firewall, I guess at 1 billion, should be a priority of the European Union. Otherwise, the weakest economy will be at the heart of the financial community's speculation. However, this is one side of the coin. On the other hand, what I think is that we also need to go beyond a financial, let me say, program. We really need that a true political and fiscal union will be established in the past. Otherwise, Europe will be squeezed by US on the one hand and China and Asia on the other.
Giuliano Noci, Associate Dean at MIP Politecnico di Milano, I'm grateful to you. Thanks for joining us live from Shanghai.